The Scots go for the season sweep of the league's #1 team. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to what should be a very special night here at the Highlander Fieldhouse. I'm Brian Sutcliffe, along with Coach David Clark. It's a great night that started off with the Hoops and Hot Sauce Dinner and Auction. The Scots Big Fundraiser has created a really wonderful atmosphere for the most highly anticipated home game on the schedule as the Scots welcome the current leaders in District 10 4A, the Newman-Smith Trojans of Carrollton. The Scots come into this one tied for second place, 2 games behind the league-leading Trojans with 4 to play. So it doesn't take a slide rule to calculate the ramifications of this game for the Scots. Win and a second consecutive district championship is still possible, although the Scotties would need some help. But with a loss, HP needs to start looking behind them because they'd be just a game out of 5th. And we don't need to remind you that only 4 teams qualify for the playoffs. The Newman-Smith Trojans are 18-9 this season. They are the area's 9th-ranked team by the Dallas Morning News among 4A squads. They're coached by Percy Johnson. Their starters at guard, number 1, Ben Higginbotham, a junior, 5'10". Number 5, Darian Brown, a 5'10" junior. He's tied for 8th in the area in assists per game. Number 21, Walter Rickett III. He's a 6'2" senior. The forwards are number 10, Cameron Cole, a 6'3" senior. Scored a team-high 21 points in the Scots win on January 8th. And number 23, Steven Spurlock, a 6'6" senior. He's number 7 in the area in scoring at nearly 17 points per game. Brian Sutcliffe here with Coach David Clark. The Scots in their all-whites. Newman-Smith won the tip, but HP forced the miss by Cameron Cole on the outside. And they'll have their first look after it's tapped out by Steven Spurlock.
Looked like Cole would maybe try and throw an alley-oop. He didn't really look like he had his shooting form there, so. Well, nice get the give and go.
And one. Good start for the Scotties, who lead it 2-0. This is a battle of the district's #1 offense from Newman-Smith, who averages 74.5 points in district against the league's best defense, the Highland Park Scots, in league play allowing only 47.8 points. So something's got to give here. As Chase Fletcher gives the Scots a 3-0 lead.
Well, it's a good start, showing the Scots can go inside and score, and they're going to have to defend Will Miller on the perimeter. He had a good game. Always has a good quarter, first quarter it seems like.
Steven Spurlock with that beautiful spin, hitting that left-hand floater. He scored a relatively quiet 12 points in the Scots' 70-65 win.
He, along with Cole, are probably those team leaders on that. They kind of go the way they go.
Frashella with a behind-the-back dribble, giving some space cleared out by Fletcher, who then headed to the mid-post. Will Miller, who scored 14 points, really triggered the Scots offense in the game against Creekview. Offensive foul.
Good job, good defense then. And Will wasn't totally aggressive. You hate to see that. He was kind of caught in between a pull-up and a teardrop there. So got called for a charge, probably a good call.
First against Miller, first against the Scots. Off the bounce and one. Scored the basket. Walter Rickett III has his first points. And Newman-Smith has its first lead, 4-3 with 6:45 left.
I think the Trojans play their best when they can really have a lot of guys involved. I noticed from watching their scores that when they have 4 guys in double figures, they are really hard to beat. And when they're sharing the ball like that, it makes it tough on the Scots.
That's the first against Clayton Murtha as Walter Rickett responds to the Chase Fletcher 3-point play with one of his own. And Newman-Smith has a 5-3 lead. Newman-Smith at 18-9 on the season. Started 4-4 and since are 13-5. And Coach, we want to dust off still what I believe is the most ridiculous stat we've heard all year. And Newman-Smith this year is 18-5 against teams not called the Colony. They played the Cougars 4 times this year and lost all 4.
And there's a great chance that they may play them again.
Wave it off. Chase Fletcher draws his 46th charge of the year. It's the first foul against Cameron Cole, and that's an important one, as Cameron Cole was a lot for the Scots to handle in that first game on January 8th, won by the Scots 70-65. And the teams quickly have 2 fouls apiece with 6:20 left in the first.
Cameron Cole's a very skilled big guy with thick body and really does a great job inside. Be nice to get him in a little foul trouble.
Frashella down low to Fletcher. Great positioning. Fletcher, patient, scores his 4th and 5th points. Ties the game at 5.
Chase was kind of quiet in the first half at Creekview, and he looks like he's ready to play this time.
Rickett off the bounce. Nice hesitation to take the ball away from Kreitz's defensive pressure, and Rickett has 5 first-quarter points. Back in front go the Trojans 7-5.
Like another good opportunity for the Scots to draw a charge, and didn't do it. Gave up a layup.
Newman Smith really put what has the early makings of a stranglehold on this district by sweeping the season series as Fraschilla pops the 3. His 3rd of the year.
That's great to see. They're going to play off of Matt because he's such a great passer. Then they're going to push it at the other end.
Quickly the other way, Steven Spurlock scores, and it's a 1-point lead for Newman Smith at 9-8. And early on, Coach, this game's being played at Newman Smith's pace, as there's already 17 total points. And we'll say hello for the first time to Messrs. Mac Duval and Ben Bailey, the Altshuler & Company Scots Mop crew, doing their thing for the first time tonight. Altshuler & Company is a real estate advisory services firm that features big ideas and flawless execution. Altshuler & Company, proud sponsors of the Scots Mop crew. 5:25 left in the first. Pretty quick pace thus far, and early on it's a 1-point advantage for Percy Johnson's Newman Smith Trojans, 9-8.
Yeah, you mentioned they're playing at Newman Smith pace. I think that was what Coach Peeler pointed out to him at the timeout. We had a celebrating a 3 from Fraschilla, and then no one seemed to want to get back on defense. So they're going to push the pace whenever they can, that's for sure.
Pump it down low to Fletcher. Spins away from Spurlock. Had it stripped out by Cameron Cole. Nice help side defense there by Cole to force a baseline inbound for the Scotties.
You can tell the strategy for the Scots are really to pound it inside, and with Clayton and Chase.
Murtha missed it. Tries to save it in. He does to Fletcher. Jump ball stays with the Scots on the alternating possession.
Clayton had been playing so well. He missed a lot of little bunnies last game against Creekview, and so did Chase. A lot of contact. So I know they worked on that this week, and we'll see if it pays off. Let's see if we can do it with a little
Fraschilla
pressure.
quickly into Murtha. Very fortunate for Murtha there. He might have picked up his 2nd personal foul. No call either way. Newman Smith with the ball, and after the Scots ended Newman Smith's season last year, you can imagine that Percy Johnson's squad would love nothing more than to come in here, get a win, and for all intents and purposes, end the Scots' hopes at a 2nd consecutive district championship, as HP would at that point be trailing by 3 games with 3 to play.
And be really hurting on some tiebreakers, too. So, yeah, this is an important game for the Scots, no doubt.
Steven Spurlock's already halfway to his entire performance in the first game between these squads. He has 6. And it's a 3-point lead for Newman Smith, 11-8. Newman Smith trailed West Mesquite at halftime on Tuesday by 6, but then blew the Wranglers out in the third, 25-12, to take control of that game as Fraschilla can't hit, swooping into the lane. It's last touched by Newman Smith.
I bet you don't have the stat that says the last time Fraschilla shot the ball 2 times in the first quarter.
Not many times.
I can tell you. Oh, they're giving it again. He finds Chase.
Well, Chase is getting what he wants down low. He's got 7 first-quarter points.
He sure is. He is really working hard on the block.
Ben Higginbotham out there in the corner. There's a difference in lineup as Nick Schenkel started in the first game for Newman Smith, but it's Higginbotham giving the look this time. 4:03 left, first quarter. Newman Smith leads by 1, 11-10.
Scott's playing a little zone against Trojans.
Newman Smith, a couple of weeks ago, appeared for the first time this year in the DFW Area 4A rankings as dictated by the Dallas Morning News. They rose to number 9 this week. And you wonder if, but for some close results, I might be looking at a pretty high state ranking, as their 9 losses have all come coached by 35 total points. And 10 of those were in their season opening loss to Cedar Hill.
We know Cedar Hill's got a quality program, so that's not a bad loss.
Out to Spurlock. Fraschilla will pick up Cameron Cole, get some help from Matthew Kreitz, who'll sink off. There's Darian Brown down to the baseline. Ricketts didn't like the look, so he'll hand it off to Spurlock, who missed that 3 badly. Coming all the way to the near side corner was Cole for the offensive rebound.
Boy, nice hustle by Cole to run that one down.
3:10 left, first quarter, 11-10 Newman Smith. The Scots in a must-win situation. That's a nice pass from Darian Brown. It was missed by Ricketts, and then there's a push down on the floor. It'll go against the Scots.
I think they got Clayton Murtha.
That they did, and Clayton Murtha has 2 fouls with 3 minutes left in the first. I think we can maybe expect to see a dose of Mitchell Kaufman here before too long, who was asked to highlights as he ran onto the floor in this game.
Oh, my gosh. Sorry I missed that.
Saved in by Fletcher off the miss by Brown.
Oh, no.
Quickly up ahead for Shell, a little too hefty for Matthew Kreitz.
Kind of forcing something there. Not sure we needed that.
Scott's turning the ball over just under 15 times per game and forcing just over 15 times. So the Scots have given it and take it away this year. At about the same tempo.
Coach Peters keeping Murtha in the game, at least this defensive set. He's got Mitchell at the table come in.
Nicholas Schenkel, number 25, the 6'2 junior, into the game. Navigating through the traffic and scoring off the glass was Walter Rickett. He has 7 points. Steven Spurlock has the other 6. So Newman Smith with only 2 players that have scored. And then Cameron Cole with the turnover. He's got Brown behind him, and he's body checked to the floor by Matt Fraschilla. Probably a good foul there for Matt.
Probably so. Matt was giving away 50 pounds and a few inches there. So that was a good foul, not to give up the and one, too.
3-point lead. 4th team foul against the Scots, and that sends Cameron Cole to the line, averaging 11 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. So pretty nice numbers put forth this year by the senior Cameron Cole.
You know, Newman Smith is one of those teams like West Mesquite we talked about that really their defense kind of dictates their offense. If they can get some steals on the perimeter, they are running the floor and attacking the rim.
Cole looks to go 2 for 2. Missed that one. Rebound, Mitchell Kaufman, number 4, the 6'3 sophomore, into the game for the first time. Scott's looking to find some better accuracy from the field. They've had 4 consecutive games where they have shot under 50%. Foul against Cameron Cole. It's his second.
Scots need somebody to step up and make some shots. I mean, I can tell you from the Creekview game that they did not shoot the ball very well, and West Mesquite, they didn't shoot the ball very well.
Will Mill, book it, and the foul, count it. I think the foul was away from the ball. Count the basket as Will Miller hits his 50th 3 of the year. Will Mill went crazy against Newman Smith in Carrollton, scoring 23 points. He had season highs in that 23-point total as well as 6 made threes. Count the basket, and then there's a foul against Mitchell Kaufman. That's his first and the team's 5th with 1:52 left in the first quarter.
Should be a lot of free throws there. Scots need to clean it up a little bit.
Scots know a little something about shooting free throws against this team. In the first matchup between these squads, the Scots shot 2 free throws in the first 3 quarters. They then fired 20 in the 4th, and I think Mitchell just picked up his second. Yes, he did.
It'll be the team's 6th.
So Clayton Murtha's on the bench with 2 fouls, and Mitchell Kaufman, his replacement, has picked up 2 quick ones of his own. First free throw missed by number 20, Darion Hill, 6'3 senior, seeing his first action of the game. And of those 20 free throws, they made 18. Matt Fraschilla shot 14 of them, hitting 13. As HP scored 18 of their 23 fourth-quarter points from the free throw line in the 5-point win. Skip it over to Miller. He'll try it again. Hit it again! Look out. When Will starts hot, he stays that way. He's got 6 points on a pair of made threes, and he's given the Scots the lead, which Nick Schenkel can't recover. Missing the left corner 3 all the way out on the far sideline. The Scots will have it. As number 4, Anthony Grayson, a 5'10 sophomore, checks in for Coach Percy Johnson's Trojans. Ben Higginbotham returns as well as Schenkel and Darion Brown leave.
Will has certainly had some first-quarter magic and really has been lighting it up in the first quarters of just about every game. And we'll see how he does, keeps it going for 4 quarters here.
HP by 2, 16-14. Well, baseline look, taking it up strong,
Good.
Hitting on the floater. Will Miller has 8 points in the last 90 seconds or so, and the Scots have their largest lead, 18-14.
Nice back cut on the overplay by the Trojans on the perimeter. Will got him on a nice run to the basket.
Number 13, Ben Livingston, the 6'1 senior, in the game on the last timeout. Skip it over to Grayson. Grayson to Spurlock. Spurlock battles with Livingston, shoots that little fadeaway and hits. That's very pretty. He leaves it up there with a left hand. He ought to. He's got 8 first quarter points. Walter Rickett has 7 of the remaining 8, and Cameron Cole has the other one. Scots by 2 for Schilla and Mitchell.
Nice
Kaufman.
play.
Kaufman
Nice
off the nice pass from the wing by Ben Livingston. Mitchell
Nice
Kaufman has his first 2. The Scots lead by 4, 20-16. They led after 1 in Carrollton, 22-15. Number 2, DeAndre Burns, who moved in from Mississippi early in the season. One of some good young players that Percy Johnson has. You look down their roster, and they have guys that get a lot of minutes who are going to be back next year. So the Scots will have their fill of these guys for the next season as well. As we'll say hello for the first time to number 5, Trey Garrison, the 6'4 senior, and number 11, Jake Stegenga, the 5'10 junior. Oh. Here's Ben Livingston. Gets the steal. It looked like he fouled. It was scores in transition as the final play for the first quarter. A very nice last 2 minutes or so for the Highland Park Scots. They'll head to the second, leading the Newman Smith Trojans, the District 10-4A leaders, 22-16.